Hola amigos, quiero enseñarte algo del libro. Está en la página como 105 a 110, dependiendo en cuál versión del libro tienes. Hey friends, I want to talk to you a little bit about one of the sections that's in the book. It's called Multiple Verbs in One Subject. And this is a great introduction in how you can speak in the future in Spanish without necessarily learning new conjugations. The majority of what you'll learn in Spanish is new ways to conjugate verbs like the one we see here, necesitar, and instead of just doing it in the present, you want to gain the power to be able to do it in the future and in the past. So to say I needed would be necesité, and to say I will need in the future, you could say necesitará or necesitaré. So what happens here is that we be learning new conjugations, and that's not what I want to teach you today. I want to show you some ways you can use what you've already learned to start to talk in the future, and in our very next chapter I'll show you a bunch of different ways we can do this without really stretching your understanding of conjugation until we're really good at all of these things. So what we're going to do is focus on this verb necesitar, the infinitive of to need. I have it conjugated here for you all as I need, you need, he, we, and they need. So yo necesito, tú necesitas, él necesita, nosotros necesitamos, y ellos necesitan. And what we're going to do is use this as the base of our sentence to try and talk about things we need to do in the future. And I want you all to be able to think about other verbs that we maybe could put here to replace necesitar that you probably want to venture out on your own and learn. Maybe they are simple AR verbs that you already know how to conjugate, and you can use it to expand what you can say in Spanish. I'll give you guys a couple examples at the end. I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet. So in order to make this work, what you need is a conjugated verb in the present. So in English, what we have is I need. I need, it shows the word to need conjugated for I. But then what we'll need is an infinitive. If we don't understand or remember what infinitive means, this is our infinitive here. It's our unconjugated form of the verb. It means that there is no subject associated with it, and no one is actually taking this action. So when we have an unconjugated or an infinitive verb, no one is doing this action. It is something that's just a part of the sentence or the future action in this instance that we want to take or need to take. So we have to study, not I study, you study, or he studies, and the same thing will happen in your Spanish version. And then our predicate is a lot this week. And that will complete our sentence here when we have a subject, a verb, and a predicate. So let's go ahead and look and see how this will work in Spanish. So if I wanted to say I need to study a lot this week, I need would be necesito. To study, if you check your vocab sheet, your 501 verbs, or the verb sheet I gave you, you'd see estudiar. And then a lot this week goes back to our preliminary lessons, mucho. Oh, I do not have the word this. Sorry about that. Esta semana. So this is why we put an accent on the word esta. It is so you don't confuse it with esta. I'm sorry that this is in this video. It's a little more advanced than I wanted it to be. So we'll ignore that. Now we're going to go up. I could say every week instead of esta, cada semana, if you wanted to put that. That's more on our level. So now you can see that I've used this document to teach class, and so some of the solutions are here, so that'll help us get through this a little bit quicker. So if we had something like we need to answer a question, notice that it's we and we need. So to need is conjugated for we, but to answer, no one is answering here. So the action that our subject is taking is to need something, and to answer is what we're going to do in the future. So we would say, necesitamos contestar una pregunta. This one under it says we need to ask a question. Necesitamos preguntar una pregunta. Again, notice that it's we need, necesitamos, but here with our verb that we're needing, it's in the infinitive still. It's not conjugated. We have not put a subject here. Contestar and preguntar. To answer and to question. All right, we've got three more we want to take a look at. When do they need to go to school? Cuando is when. Necesitan, they need. Ir a escuela, to go to school. So you can see again here, you can even use the word ir in the infinitive. And if you've seen my previous video about ir, you can see how now you can use ir as to belong and to travel in a lot of different ways as well. Why do we need to go to Europe by plane? Here's a great example of that. Why? Porque necesitamos, we need to go, ir a Europa en avión. This could also translate as, why do we need to fly to Europe? Why can't we take a boat? Or maybe you're in Italy. Maybe you're in Russia. Why can't we take a train? Italy is in Europe. I didn't know that. Other words like necesitar, I wanted you guys to place here. So if you're in the Growing and Learning Spanish book, I've already put a couple of words here you could use. And if you were in my class on Zoom, I forgot to go to this part because we were running a little low on time. So what we want to do is put some words that work like necesitar here. So maybe I'm not saying I need to study a lot this week. Maybe we're saying I forgot to study a lot. I forget to study a lot. Maybe you're saying I'm trying to study a lot. So we could replace the word necesitar with a conjugated version of the word tratar, to try. You could use a conjugated version of the word olvidar, to forget. So I'm going to do two examples, one with olvidar, one with tratar, and then it'll be adios after that. So we're going to say we forget to study on the weekend, and I'm going to say, do you try to cook pizza? I love pizza. So we're going to say so our word to forget is olvidar. And we're going to say nosotros, optional, olvidamos estudiar en el fin de semana. Do you try to cook pizza? So this will say, you try to cook pizza with question marks on either side. So I'm going to move my interrogativo down so we'll have it. So our word to try is tratar. So what we want to say is, tratas cocinar pizza. All right, you guys, I hope this helps you out with your Spanish. A lot of you all in the next chapter after you learn AR verbs, you see something about ir a and then an infinitive, or tener que and an infinitive. And I'm going to save that for our next chapter, but I hope that this really helps you get a good foundation. Thank you guys for tuning in. Adios.